from our program and proved to everyone, specifically themselves, that they had made the decision to work hard, to be determined, and to keep that desire burning for success. Certainly, my perception of the women in this community shifted for the better as I was able to understand them for who they are, not just how they are presented by their surroundings. Thank you. And now I will present Nicole.
As Patty said, my name is Nicole. I will be discussing the questions that this experience raised for us while we were in Guatemala. To begin, I would just like to share a bit of my own personal background before becoming involved with the program. Part of my family is from Honduras, so I have had the opportunity to visit there often. And being there has exposed me to many of the problems of third world countries, including the disparity of wealth, the government corruption, and a high level of urban poor, because my family lives in a city. Throughout my life, I have asked myself why these problems exist, why they are so hard to fix, and what we can do to make them better. When I found out about this project, I was really excited about the concept, and I hoped that we would be able to make a difference in the lives of the girls that we had selected. While we were in Guatemala, we considered many questions regarding public health, government, and education issues. Some of the questions we could answer for ourselves, and many of the girls have touched on some of these topics. One of the first questions was, what kind of education did this community need? You know, what were their problems? So in order to answer this question, we started our census, and we found out what were the most common ailments in this community so that our lessons and what the girls would learn would be relevant to their community. We also wondered what the best approach to teaching the girls was, and as Angelica mentioned, we did hit a road bump, and we had to adjust our methods. Also, how do we build confidence in these girls, and how do we try to move them away from the passivity that they are taught in their culture? As Marge mentioned, we tried to give them confidence boosting and team building exercises. We involved them in fun activities on the weekends and also during our lessons. We were also confronted by some broader issues that were beyond the scope of our project. There was a huge disconnect between the clinic and the people in the community. The people at the clinic often think that the people who come from the rural areas for help are incompetent. In Guatemala, or at least in this area, all the people have their medical history on little cards, and they need to bring them as a form of identification, and so that the doctors know what their medical history is when they come to the clinic. Oftentimes they forget or aren't aware that they need to bring this, and it makes it all the more difficult for them to be helped. The people think that the clinic is very inefficient. They have to arrive there very early and get a number, like at a deli. They have to wait around until they can search their medical history. Then they go see a doctor. If they require any additional tests, they have to go to a lab room and wait in a line there so that they can draw blood or take urine samples. Then they have to return to the doctor for a diagnosis. We also wondered how internal issues of this clinic could have been addressed. The woman who has all the records actually received a computer so that she could put all of the records in an electronic form. And unfortunately, the administration thought that they needed the computer more in their department, so she got it taken away. We also wondered how issues in the local government could have been fixed. In the town that we were living, in, there was a mayor, and that was basically the only form of government. He didn't have too much of a role in helping the community. They don't receive many funds, so it wasn't as if he could really make a difference in his own community. In addition, Delia, one of the women that we worked with while we were in Guatemala, often carried a gun with her. She had been a mayor, she was a mayor, elected mayor 3 times previously, and she felt uncomfortable being involved with being involved with government because it was so dangerous in that area. I also wondered if it was even fiscally efficient to maintain the clinic. Most of the people who come to the clinic are from the rural areas, and they have a long trek and then waste their entire day waiting to be helped. It seems as if it would be more beneficial to have some sort of moving clinic or doctors that could travel from village to village visiting the people in need. So unfortunately, these were some of the questions that were beyond us, but I think that our experiences in Guatemala made us more aware and concerned with these questions and issues. Thank you.
Left El Triunfo and are back at Wellesley, our focus is on sustaining the project. We're in the process right now of becoming an official Wellesley organization, and we're trying to recruit new members. Dana Im got us involved, and we'd really love to get other people from Wellesley involved as well. Wellesley women are often described as women who will, and we think that sentiment is really seen in this project. So we're really excited to find some new recruits. Next summer, we are planning on sending a group of Wellesley girls back to El Triunfo to help continue the project. So far, we have a 3-year plan where the girls will be receiving scholarships to school for those 3 years, and we'll continue giving the lessons and help. When we return this summer, we plan on taking another census and seeing if there's been any changes in community health and if the project's making a difference. We're also really interested in seeing the community's response to the project, what they have to say about it. We also plan on working with the Doctoritas more and increase their responsibilities since they'll be more experienced now. As I said before, part of the project is giving the girls scholarships for the 3 years of school. So we're in the process of fundraising money for that to send the girls to school. The girls are working really hard to improve their community, and it's really important for us to keep our commitment to them. Oftentimes, people go overseas to do a community service project, and once the time there is up, they kind of end their relationship with that community. I know I've done that in the past for other service projects, but we've really invested a lot emotionally in these girls, and we really want to keep our connection with them, and we really want this project to succeed. So we're trying to spread more awareness about the project. That was our motivation behind doing this Tanner. We want as many people to hear about it as possible. So I know we also have ways that you guys keep updated with our project. We have the website and the blog, or you can email us. And I think we're going to have some time to talk about.
Well, we just want to say thank you for coming to our presentation. First of all, thank you to Cecilia Campoverde, which is the NGO in Guatemala. And also thank you to Dana for, of course, recruiting us and having us be part of this project. And of course, thank you to Charlene Galerno, which is our advisor and our very wise mind behind the Tanner.